around the outside of Portland, Connecticut's A.J. Cananzaro on the 330. Gets past him.
Oh, he's got a double over.
Oh, man, what a move by Kevin Windham.
That was awesome.
That was Plouffe, California rider. He made a mistake coming out of that right-hander, and it's really greasy. You got to get lined up for, I believe that was that 85, 90-foot double jump that Jeremy McGrath showed us earlier in the show. And Plouffe just went way to the left, and Windham did not hesitate. Well, let's take another look at it. Ricky, what do you see?
Look at there. He just pumps the brakes for some reason. You see Windham. Look at that. That is an awesome shot. Look how high in the air he is.
Yeah, and the riders behind him also checked up.
I'll tell you what, you're going to see Kevin Windham make some quick work of guys right here. I mean, he is not going to go to the last chance. There's just no way. So you're going to see some expertise riding right now.
Coming up in a little bit, we're going to send you back to Charlotte. The Cup race in Charlotte is just wrapping up there. We're going to have a special edition of NASCAR Victory Lane for you in a few minutes. We'll show you that live, and then we will bring you right back to Vegas. Promise you're not going to miss a thing, but we will have a special edition of NASCAR Victory Lane coming up in a few minutes. Right now, it's Sean Borkenhagen on the 78 that Kevin Windham is working on as he continues to work his way up. This would be for 7th. He needs 5th. He's got 7th. Here comes Kevin Windham up through the field.
Yeah, Borkenhagen knew that Windham had the line on him, and if he had tried to hold his line, Windham would have just plowed into him. And that's a really difficult section because you're on such an incline. He knew that if they made any contact there, good chance that both riders could go down, and then they definitely would be in the LCQ.
Yep. Now he's going after the 38 machine. That's Chris Blows on that Hardin-Huntington entry. That's who's up next.
Look how the track has changed. There's even some dust coming up now.
That would be for 6th if he can get around him.
How rocky that dirt is.
Yeah,
making it
just
tough.
skating
It
around.
feels like you got 80 pounds of air pressure in your tire and can't get the suspension soft enough.
Yeah, that's the thing about that suspension setup. That question that we had earlier off of Twitter is that, the traction's going to be really tough here. I mean, it's going to be tough to get dialed in. And with the whoop section, to really skim the top of the whoops like what we had in here in May, I mean, you have to have that front suspension, Ricky, just like almost rock hard where it just taps the tops of those. But here you can soften it up. But Windham's always been a guy that is really good at the whoops, but he seems to be the only guy that can run kind of a soft suspension setup and be good across the whoops. Would you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree. And the softer setup will be better.
Aaron, we've heard a lot of what these guys think of the track. What are your thoughts from down there?
Well, guys, I was just speaking with Ryan Dungey inside the KTM rig, and he said the track is really coming around from this morning. Really wet this morning, very slippery. He said it is a whole bunch of fun right now. He said, but that elevation part is all the way down to the plywood, so things are going to start to get a little bit slippery. But as of right now, he said they are prime condition, and he's having a lot of fun.
There you go.
Well, and we talk about this dirt. When we come back here May 2012 for the season finale of Monster Energy Supercross, we're going to have some new dirt to play with for that event.
That'll be awesome.
Because a lot of this is fresh.
Right. The dirt inside the stadium is really, really, really good. Obviously a little rocky here, but hey,
we're
it's
in the
rocky.
desert.
It's rocky in motocross. You know what I mean? And this is a hybrid track. You're going to fight some different elements. And you got to be good at all the elements.
Oh, and I'm telling you, for Windham, he still needs 2 more spots. And, Tough Luck gets out there. That's a stroke of bad luck if you were going to hit that. But for Windham, it's starting to get a little frustrating here.
No problems for this guy up front. Nick Way having a great run in semi number 1.
No doubt about it. You see what a great start can do for you. You can get out and do, as they say, ride your own race. And as long as you can ride faster than the rider behind you, you really just can ride whatever lines you want. But if somebody comes up on you, that's when you got to start playing the game and protecting the inside.
Muscan, Albertson, and Brown all running right behind him, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
You know what's interesting about Muscan, who's riding that KTM 350, he's coming off of a 250, right? He's never raced Supercross here in the U.S., and so he gets on the 350 and is like, man, this thing's incredible. There's so much power. But you got to remember, he's got 100 cc's less. I mean, if you've seen the piston size from a 250 to a 350 to a 450, it's very different.
Now that is right inside the KTM factory rig. Of course, that's Roger DeCoster straight back in the middle, and Ryan Dungey, who has already won his heat. That's the brain trust of the KTM factory squad, and they've already won a Supercross championship together.
Is Roger eating chocolate?
Go ahead, Aaron.
No, guys, that's not chocolate. He's eating food for champions. That's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and they're watching us live on speed right now, trying to figure out what to do next.
They look fairly content with everything right now, I would think.
Dungey just won Heat 1. First race on the bike. Roger's smiling. Dungey's smiling. Everyone's happy at this point.
You know what's pretty happy, too, leading.
You know what's cool is you can watch the race at the actual race you're participating in. That's pretty sweet. Yeah. You know?
Well, I mean, this got that all-star event thing. There's no points on the line. Now that we're here and we started racing, I kind of feel like everyone has kind of loosened up, and I think that the energy from the crowd here, no doubt. I mean, there's people in from Canada, from North Dakota, Vegas, California, and now that everybody came here for this big monster Supercross party, everyone's having a pretty good time.
I'll take it a step further. I ran into some folks who came all the way from England to be here for the Monster Energy Cup. Checkered flag waves for Nick Wey. He takes the win in semi number 1. And how close was Wyndham to making the straight transfer?
Hey, Weston Pike.
Yes.
5th place. Yeah. He's in the main heat. This guy is pumped.
Got a shot at $100,000 for sure, maybe $1 million. There's Albertson on the 108. He's going through. Brown on the 53. Pike on the 43. All headed to the mains. Nick Wey, semi-1 winner. Looks like he's doing it out of the back of a van here tonight. What would $100,000 or maybe $1 million do for that racing effort?
He wouldn't be in the van anymore.
Be a real good-looking van, wouldn't it?
That's right.
Buy you an easy up.
Yeah, get you an easy up 10. Semi-1 event results. There are the 5 names. Now everybody else below that still has a shot in the LCQ.
I think the biggest thing I'm looking at is Kevin Wyndham.
Yeah.
Shocker.
5 more riders can come out of this semi. It'll be another 5-lap race. This is semi number 2.
Well, check this out. On the inside, you've got Tickle, your West Coast champion. He won the title here.
That is the Monster Energy Cup right there. That's what everybody's racing for. And just below it, you see the $1 million. Taking him wide and up and over the tough blocks.
Little Hanny.
Josh Hansen having his issues here in the early stages of semi number 2.
But some of these lights riders that are in here, right? You've got Alessi with that hole shot, and then it looked like Nick Paluzzi. And was that, yeah, that was Tickle.
That's Paluzzi right there in second on the 72.
AMA Arena Cross champion, Tyler Bowers coming out here to battle. This is a way bigger track than what he's used to.
Tickle on the circuit. 20 right there, having moved up.
Oh. I'm telling you, this track is so different. It's not, you know, with Supercross tracks and the test tracks, you practice certain things specifically. This is a track that you have to ride very instinctually, okay? You really have to think about it. It's just not your standard setup.
Oh, Tickle with an extremely hard landing.
He might have been thinking he was on that lights bike.
Giving a little too much throttle right there. And like I said earlier, he's got 200 more cc's, almost double.
Problems at the top of Monster Mountain.
Freeze.
Vince Freezy on the 45. Let's go back and look at what happened to Brock Tickle.
He lands at the worst spot, right in the pocket. I mean, at the bottom, at the bottom of the landing. Check this out.
Well, see, Paluzzi overjumps a little bit too, so he's kind of judging himself off of Paluzzi.
Oh, that is the worst way you can land. Poor guy.
Hey, how'd those forks feel? Yeah. Back in our day when they used to metal
That's
to
when
metal.
you don't want the forks too soft.
Yeah.
Get them right up in your chest.
And I'm still, unless he put in a really good heat race, I think he must have got arm pump or something. because, I mean, he's just walking away from this right here. I mean, he looks good. He's kind of back to his whole shot ways. Mike Alessi has always been known for his whole shots. And the last couple of years, he's kind of fallen off. But now that he's back on this Suzuki, I mean, he's been ripping them tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's, like I always say, he's the second best starter in the history of the sport.